Hello everyone. Today let's solve the problem number 88, merge sorted array. So what the question states here, we are given two sorted arrays here, right? So you can clearly see here we have been given nums1 and nums2. We are given two sorted arrays, nums1 and nums2 with m and n valid elements respectively. M and n are the valid elements, means they are not considering 0 as the valid element. 0 means you don't have any particular value. So this is filled with 0. We have extra space and that is filled with 0, and 0 is not the valid element here. M equals 3 means here we have the valid elements with the valid value, means 1, 2, 3. You can clearly see here. Same goes with nums2 as well. Here you can clearly see 2, 5, 6. So each element is valid here because we have particular value for it, right? So n equals 3. They have mentioned here. So the array nums1 has extra space to accommodate all the elements of the merging. We have extra space here in the nums1 to accommodate all elements of the merging. So here exactly three elements are given and we have six space here, three filled and other three space left here. You can clearly see here. So when we merge, we have to get 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, 6. All the elements can be merged within this particular space, right? So within this particular space or memory. So that's what the array nums1 has extra space to accommodate all the elements of the merging. Merge nums2 into nums1, keeping the final array sorted in the non-decreasing order. So here we have to merge nums2 into nums1, keeping the final array sorted in non-decreasing order. So we have to keep the final array in the non-decreasing order. So we have to do this in place. That is nothing but we have to modify nums1 directly. Again, I'm telling we shouldn't consider the extra array, right? So we shouldn't consider the extra array. Instead, we have to do this in place. Means we have to modify the nums1 directly, right? So here again we have to merge nums2 into nums1, keeping the final array sorted in non-decreasing order. So this is also one of the important point that we need to keep in mind. So I hope the question is completely clear, right? So here you can clearly see 1, 2, 3, the 000 we have, 2, 5, 6 we have. The final output has to be 1, 2, 2, non-decreasing order they have mentioned. So it has to be 2 here. Then comes the 3, then comes 5, and then comes the 6. Means it has to be present in the ascending order. Basically what we can do, we can just merge this one and then we can sort, right? Or else we can do one more thing, we can just make use of the this one, two pointers. Let's see the approach later. Let's consider first, let's discuss the examples, right? So let's come to the second example. Here we have only one element and we have no element at all in the num2. So we have been mentioned m1. So when we merge this one, only one element is there, the output will be quite obviously 1, right? So that's what they have mentioned in the example, this one explanation as well. Let's come to the third example. Here nums1 we have 0 and nums2 we have 1 here. So we don't have any element, so it is filled with 0 here in this case, right? So this one we are merging into the nums1, right? So this one will be will be merging this one to the nums1 array basically, right? So that is the reason we have been given n1 here. M equals 0 they have given, they have given correctly, right? So the output has to be 1 here in this case as well. So you can just read to the explanation, same thing they have explained, right? So I hope the question part is completely clear, right? Easy to understand, right? Let's discuss the approach first, followed by the complexities, and then let's write the code. So approach, we have already discussed this one. I have already said that one will be making use of the two pointers as well, so it will be easier to understand the approach. So let's consider the first example, the same example that they have given here, right? So just give me a second here. So yeah, I have considered the same first example. Here we have m equals 3 and n equals 3, right? Nums1 we have been given three values, and nums2 we have been given three values, and other three, this is extra space. After merging, we have to merge within this space itself, this whole space, right? So I hope this is clear. So what is our goal? We have to merge from end of both arrays using the two pointers. So what we will do here, before going into the step-by-step explanation, we will be making use of two pointers. Suppose consider p1 and p2 are the two pointers here, right? So here p1 pointer, p1 will be at the end of the actual nums, nothing but p1 equals m minus 1. Here in this case it will be 2. So in the nums1 it will be 2. M minus 1, p1 equals m minus 1, I am telling this will be 2, and nums of 1 I mean nums 1 of 2 here, this one 0 1 2, this one is nothing but 3 valid values we are considering. The last valid value in the nums one is 3, right? So p1 is nothing but m minus 1, that is nothing but 2 here in this case. Nums 1 of 2. Same goes with p2 as well. Pointer p2 will be at the end of nums 2 instead of the nums 1. Here this one will be p2 equals n minus 1. First we did m minus 1, now we will do n minus 1. This will be 2 as well. Here nums 2 of 2, nothing but the last element 0 1 2, as it is 0 based indexing, this one the value will be 6 here in this case, right? The value, the last valid value will be 6 here. 3 and 6 we have the last valid value in the nums 1 and nums 2. So pointer p will be m plus n minus 1, nothing but it will be equal to 5. It will be equal to 5. This one I'm speaking of, this will be equal to 5 now. 5, right? So this is end of nums 1, this is end of nums 1. Then let's come to the step by step comparison here. So let me delete this one. I hope until here everything is fine, everything is clear. So let's come to the nums 1 here. Nums 1 of 2 is 3 and nums 2 of 2 is 6 here. This one we have already discussed, this one 3 and 6. So just give me a second here. Yeah, 3 and 6 we have considered. So we will be inserting 6 at nums 1. Now we have to insert this one at here. So we are inserting the this one 6 at nums 1. So the output array will be, sorry, not here. So just give me a second here. Yeah, here we have nums 1 last element we are considering and nums 2 last element considering, and 6 we will insert this one to first place. So this is fine. So now next step is nums 1 of 2 is 3. So this one nums 1 of 2 is still 3 and nums 2 of 1 is 5. So now we have already inserted 6. So we have nums 2 of 1 instead of nums 2 of 2. This time nums 2 of 2 is 5 and we are inserting this one to this place. Right. So same goes with the next element. So nums 1 of 2 is still 3 and nums 2 of 0. Uh, this one we are inserting this one to this place, right? We are inserting this one to the this place. Now the array, you can look into it, 1 2 3 3 5 6, right? So 1 2 3, we had 1 2 3 0 5 6, right? 1 2 3 6 we have pushed here. Okay, we have 0 0 6 1 2 3 0 5 5 is the last element we pushed. This is fine. So this has to be 1 2 3. Now we have pushed 2, not the 3 basically, right? So this has to be, so this step what we'll do, we'll consider 2, but here 2 is already present in the nums 1 and they have said that we have to push this one to the or I mean we have to show the result in the non-decreasing order. So what we will do, 2 is less than 3, we'll compare that one and we will move this 3 to the next spot here. Instead of pushing 2 to the 4, this one nums 1 of 3 here, what we will do, we will insert 3 to the nums 1 of 3 here, right? So now this will be, instead of 1 2 1 2 this one, what do you call, 1 2 3 2 5 6, it will be currently 1 2 3 3 5 6. Now at this step it will be 1 2 3 3 5 6, not 1 2 3 2 5 6. Don't get confused here, this step, right? So because the result has to be in the non-decreasing order, so we will push this 3, instead of pushing the 2 to this one nums 1 of 3 third index, we will push the value 3 which is present in the second index to the third index. Now it will be 1 2 3 3 5 6. We will modify. Now what we will do, now we have this value 3, right? So now we will replace the 3 by 2 using the 2 pointers. Now this one, so now the output that we got after all the things, so here see here, nums 1 equals 2 and nums 2 equals nums 2 of 0 equals 2. Now we will insert the 2 at nums 1 of 2. The answer will be 1 2 2 3 5 6. So the output after doing all the operations is 1 double 2 3 5 6. And don't get confused at this one, this step, the third step basically. So here nums 1 of 2 equals 3 and nums 2 of 0 equals 2. Accordingly with what we were going, actually we have to push the 3 to the nums 1 of this one 3. but instead we have to display the result in the non-decreasing order. So we will consider 3 and we will uh, place the 3 in the nums 1 of 3. Now it will be 1 2 double 3 5 6. So next we will push the element 2, or will modify the element 2 in the nums, this one nums 1 of 2 basically. So the output will be 1 double 2 3 5 6 here. So this we are doing it because we have to modify only in place. We cannot consider the extra array. They have clearly mentioned in the question, right? And also here you can clearly see nums1 and nums2 integer single array sorted in the non-decreasing order. It has to be, the output has to be in the non-decreasing order, right? So here that is the reason we'll be going in this. That is why this approach is better to use basically, right? So we are modifying in place, and also we are making use of the two pointers, right? So I hope the approach is completely clear, right? Approach part is completely clear. So what would be the time complexity accordingly with the approach that we discussed? So the time complexity would be quite obviously, you would have already guessed, it would be big of m plus n. It wouldn't be big of n, it would be big of m plus n. Why it is m plus n? Because each element in both the arrays, right? Each element in both the arrays, nums1 and nums2, each element in both the arrays is processed exactly once, right? Every element will be processed exactly once in both the arrays, nums1 and nums2, right? So the time complexity would be quite obviously big of m plus n. And what would be the space complexity here? Space complexity would be big of 1. Why the space complexity is big of 1? Because in place we are making use of in place merge. I mean, we are modifying only in place. So or in place merge using only pointers. That is the reason. So the space complexity would be big of 1 in this case. I hope this part is completely clear, man. I hope this is clear. So this is the approach that we'll be going with. Simple to understand, right? Two pointers. Yeah, two pointers, and in this two pointers with the help of in-place modification, or in-place modification using two pointers, you can call. Sorry. Yeah. Uh, I hope the approach along with the complexities is completely clear. Now let's do one thing. Let's start writing the code. You'll understand this one crystal clear. I bet it. So first thing is, let's make use of the two pointers. One pointer for the end of actual nums1, and another pointer for the end of nums2. We have discussed this one. So this one will be int p1 equals nums1. End of nums1 is nothing but m minus 1. We have already discussed this one during the approach. So int p2 will be n minus 1. So this one we are keeping the pointer for end of num2. This is fine. So the next step here is int p equals m plus n. This one will be minus 1. Nothing but we are making use of the pointer for end of nums1 array. Nothing but total space. So next step here is we have to merge from the end to the beginning. So we have to merge from end to the beginning, right? According to the approach that we discussed. So let's make use of the simple while loop here. So while p1 greater than or equal to 0, and same goes with the p2 as well, p2 greater than or equal to 0. So within the while loop, let's write the simple if condition, because we have to put the larger element at the end. So if you remember this one, so we didn't put this one 2 at this spot. Instead we moved this 3 to the this 3, and then we considered putting 2 at the nums1 of 2 here in this space. I mean, sorry, in this place. So why this is considering everything? So this place, right? So I hope this part is completely clear. For that one, we have to put the larger element at the end. Also, we have to put larger from nums2. These for these two conditions, we have to write the if condition, right? I mean, for we have to write these two conditions. Sorry, to represent this one, we'll be making use of the if condition. So let's write the simple if condition here. This will be nums1 of p1 if it is greater than nums2 of p2 here. Then what we will do, so within the if condition, this one will be nums1 of p equal nums2 of nums1 of p equals nums1 of p1 itself. So this one has to be nums1 itself, right? Yeah, I got confused here. sorry, we just have to put the larger element at the end from the p1 itself. So this one will be, this is fine. So the next step here is we have to, let's decrement the p1. So after putting this one to this space, then we have to decrement, right? Decrement the p1, right? So I hope this point is completely clear. So next we have to put the larger element from the nums2, right? So for that one we can write this one in this way. We can articulate in the form of code in this way. This one will be nums of p equals nums2. I mean this one will be nums1 of p, right? So this is fine. This one will be nums2 of p2. This is fine. So let's decrement the p2 as well here in this case. Oh, I hope this part is completely clear. So the next step is let's decrement the p here. So why we are decrement the p? So we have to move the pointer backward, right? Again, we have to move the pointer backwards. So that is the reason. So let's move on with the next step or the final step. If any elements are left in the nums2, then we have to copy them, right? If any elements are left in the nums2, then we have to copy them. So let's write the simple if while loop here. So because p2 has to be greater than or equal to 0 at any cost, so let's go with the while loop rather than the if condition. So here this will be nums1 of p, means we are going with the condition here. If any elements left in nums2, then we have to copy them, right? So nums1 of p, let's assign this one to nums2 of p2. So this is fine. If they are left, then we have to decrement p2 as well as we have to decrement p. So I hope this part is completely clear. So this is it for the code. The same thing, the exact same thing, what we discussed in the approach, we are articulating in the form of code, right? So I hope whatever the code that we have written is completely clear. So let me hit the run button quickly. I hope this works, man. Let's see. So here you can clearly see the sample test cases are getting passed. Means the code works absolutely correct. So let's see whether this works for all the test cases or not. Let me hit the submit button quickly. So here you can clearly see all the test cases are getting passed. Means the code works absolutely correct in this case, right? So I hope this part is completely clear, right? I hope this part is completely clear. Um, I hope the solution part is completely clear along with the approach as well as the complexities, right? For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.